'Twas the best of times, 'twas the worst of times. An echo of my peers ringing through every video. IHE, JonTron, the mysterious Mr. Enter. Hell, I can even hear you writing in the commentaries of this video. Well, hi the room. Thought that Alex Kayford only ripped off internet reviewers due to him being too autistic to communicate properly. Well, if we're gonna have to play your games, then to that I say, what ya talkin'? Cut it out, excuse my dynamite, princess. Two and a half years I've been doing this, and I still haven't scratched the 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm open to ideas as to how I can improve my craft, sure, but it's my pathetic short attention span that's a problem. But I do try to pay attention as to what you want to say to me. Point out details that I missed, share alternative opinions, figure out what ideas work best. Because, you know, that makes us human in the end. Doesn't matter what art forms you like or what franchises turn you off. I just want to know what you think of the things I talk about. But you see, this is how nuance thrives in this modern world dumbed down by communist tyrants. If sharing knowledge to the world is wrong, then there are Cause deep down you know, it's cause of gullible suckers like you, killing off plants and bees and each other, among all sorts of other. I look to many voices for my nuance, cause we need all the voices we can get in our war against the eugenic machine. And these days, it's either succumb to the void and perish, or you keep moving forward and evolve with the times. Things don't look all that good now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the mob,
but
time
hey,
to riot loose with
that's
the
usually when a
Sound
superhero
Network.
just swoops in to save the day. Am I right?
Is Viacom. Belts up, gang. We're about to land.
Now that's the best sound and elevator music I ever heard.
7 o'clock tonight.
The garage sale network is the worst idea ever. Taking little to no risks on programming that they pick up on the cheap, and never bothering to air their original content often, preferring to burn away the remaining episodes on a satellite network that not a lot of people get at times, that no one but us internet critics would be wide awake to watch it. As you can tell by the victims being Fanboy and Chum Chum, Planet Sheen, Breadwinners, Rabbids, Tough Puppy, Mr. Meaty, Pig Goat, Banana Cricket, almost every DreamWorks spin-off, Robot Monster, Max, and Shred, and most recently Harvey Beaks. You can obviously tell that the garage sale network that I'm speaking of is in fact Nickelodeon, which I believe is the network designed specifically for kids. Now, from a creative standpoint, the environment of her animation studio lot is pretty awe-inspiring, to say the least. Just ask C.H. Greenblatt, who created this show in the first place. There are some good shows coming the pipeline from them. Creatively, the network is a pretty cool place. It's just that in order to specifically stay on Nick, you are required by evil network dictator and soccer mom who blames everything but herself for her weeaboo son's upbringing, Seema Sargami, to exceed the ratings draw of SpongeBob SquarePants. Painfully unaware of the fact that SpongeBob actually took 2 seasons to even take off in the first place before they started milking him for nearly 2 decades. As you can probably tell, this obstacle is far too extreme for the network's actions to even be justified by a paid-for fluff piece on Cartoon Brew. And Cole knew that too! I was taken into an office, given a stern lecture, and told I had to go on Cartoon Brew to write a reply. That defense was forced, and yeah, it's funny how the network easily forgets it's took a couple of seasons for SpongeBob to catch on. Now they're too big to fail, and they need that instant hit! I'm terribly disappointed in this network. I'm disappointed that I put my faith in them. I'm disappointed that I spent 7 years of my life making something special for them to just throw away. I'm disappointed in so many things about them that I can't even say it all. In case you're wondering, yes, Greenblatt did find out about the move to Nicktoons on Twitter like everybody else, and Harvey usually only runs twice a week on just one Sunday, once at 6:30 and once at 11 PM. Because, you know, all our 9-year-old demographic is watching at 11 PM. They told me they rated less affected. They'd rather no one see it at all than it get low ratings. Which is kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't understand that sort of thinking. Not only is Harvey unaired, aired maybe less than probably Adventure Time has been this year, but Nickelodeon has actually been saying stuff like they love your show when in reality they don't. They look through you like the corporate facade of Unicron, a demonic entity that takes in the most breathtaking worlds, stripping them bare, and dumping them in the fuckbox where mere mortals shall find no trace of their being. We're hard to find on the website, streaming us is a pain in the ass, it's a shitty way to show your love. I don't know, I thought love was supposed to make you feel good. Instead I just feel sadness and contempt all the time. According to Carl, CN's experience was similar, moving the show around and such, but he says CN was honest. They said they didn't like the show. In their defense, this was also during the CN Real era. I don't know how similar this is under new management now, but damn, even CN was honest. This is the kind of sadistic behavior we've come to know and love from the clods who sullied K.A. Applegate's Animorphs franchise with the order of a cheap live-action series cause, as Greg from Paparina put it, Thrift is Nickelodeon's middle name. Nancy Thrift Nickelodeon. But it's not all bad. Check out this funny story from Carl's neck of the woods. A while ago, the head of Nickelodeon came out and gave an awkward talk to the studio as if we were shareholders instead of, you know, artists. She bragged about how even though she doesn't like Alvin and the Chipmunks, they got it at a really good price. And then they proceeded to run the crap out of it. So basically, she's proud of what they run in the same way if you found a good deal at the garage sale. It doesn't have to be good, it has to be cheap. And now they run the shit out of it. With that in mind, I will now refer to Nick as the Garage Sale Network. I think it fits them extremely well, so please, let's see if we can get this meme going. Oh, and it's not just Greenblatt's that's singing the praises of the Garage Sale Network. Check out these other satisfied customers. I spent some time with NAS, and I'll agree with Carl's sentiments. NAS is a great place to work, but Nickelodeon the Network, or New York as it's commonly referred to around the studio, being as it's mostly stationed in NYC and not Burbank, California, is a completely different beast. So yeah, the Clinton crime membership of the network has been eating at the creative side of all assets for some time now, so yeah, it is important to separate the animation studio from the network in New York when they're really talking about how shit everything is. And that's a whole fucking status in and of itself, though. He goes on to say that New York had little to no patience or interest in properly promoting anything. No one knew when anything was going to air, they'd rush to air content when there was only a handful of episodes ready to go, leading in the network shitting out new shows in short bursts like it's fucking diarrhea. The only thing I've seen New York handle with some consideration in recent history is Loud House. This is no surprise to myself, the captain, or even Clint from the Rise and Fall of Nickelodeon Facebook page, who has clearly reported on this shitty behavior for years on end. They did to Harvey the same dance they did with Pig Goat Banana Cricket this year, leading to a long hiatus and eventual Nicktoons death treatment, not even going into how horribly that show was mistreated in production, but as far back as Korra and even further back, Nickelodeon's original tunes get terrible advertising, little to none on top of the lack thereof showings they get, and as Greenblatt said, Harvey's been aired 15 hours total if that on Nick's main channel the whole goddamn year. And Nickelodeon's sponge cancer has ended up being contagious, with Teen Titans Go infesting the Turner-developed Cartoon Network despite being produced by Warner Brothers Animation, because the globalist credo of Konami rings true for both networks as well as many other political parties. You're pointless and everyone knows it. New York also laid down a terrible policy, one that from my knowledge has been used by Comedy Central and MTV, that all shows could only get 2 seasons unless they were a hit. That 2-season policy has been in play for about 2 years, maybe 3. It all started when the now former and quickly dethroned Russell Hicks was running the studio. I hate to break the bad news to everyone, but after and even before Russell Hicks took office, the ghosts of mandates past haunted the studio lots and everything Nickelodeon animation seems to do. It's only fitting that he's responsible for making this backwards-thinking rule plain as fucking day. The same dude who said kids these days don't care about less generations leftovers has SpongeBob as his Goliath Monopoly train. He might be gone, but his stink will forever linger and live on in the brain damage he's caused to innocent children. That policy really rubbed a lot of the artists the wrong way, given that so many shows need more than 2 seasons just to start to get good and find a fan base. Now here's where I want you all to think about this. How is the upcoming Nicktoon Pinky Malinky, good or not, ever going to find footing? How is Butch Hartman's Bunsen as a Beast going to avoid meeting the same ignoble end as Tough Puppy? If these shows don't get monster ratings and sustain them like Roundhouse, it's unneeded pressure and overall just a horrible situation for the crew to have that mindset. New York also struggled with air times, constantly flopping around what airs when, trying to turn Sunday evenings into a thing, piss poor concepts like that, attempting to dance around the programming blocks of Cartoon Network and Disney instead of just, having confidence and airing against them. Very messy. The weekly Loudhouse binge bombs may be the most consistent thing out of the whole year. They tried to make Garage Sale Network Sports Friday a thing and failed. Tried to air cartoon blocks on Saturday mornings, Sunday evenings, and all over the place, which caused confusions and the ratings sank all around, and even refused to compete because they most likely fears that the ratings will drop for shows low enough that they can can them for their stupid mentality. So very, very messy. Lethally messy. Nintendo Wii U marketing messy. But Nick Animation Studio, good people, good environment, lots of creative freedom. Too bad New York can't be more in line with what Nick Animation Studio is creating, but I think people at the studio are hopeful for the future. God damn, your optimism knows no bounds, Carl. Cause it's hard to hope for the future with a network so incompetent, so cronyist in nature. Stuff that perfectly describes the decrepit cluster of a Unicron knockoff that is Viacom. Straight from the horse's mouth in oh so many ways. So fuck yes, I am hella proud of my freedom of speech to tell you that 2016 has been a hell of a year for the Garage Sale Network in the worst ways imaginable. And I do mean that in a way that actually topples the Powerpuff reboot as the worst thing of the year. I mean that, seriously, just give this channel the 97 Sumner Redstone. You know what? Screw Redstone. This is the Richard Nixon Award from now on. A prize reserved for the worst of the worst and those too disgusting to ignore. I feel really bad for the animation studio and everyone involved in such a seemingly dead-end spot. It's a true shame too. One can hope that it can get better and change. But to see the state that it's truly in right now, it just makes me pine for the days when the worst thing I had to worry about was the quality of Terminator Genesis. It's just sad, even by the Wii U standards.
Family time? Togetherness? Who gives a shit?
Fly the sign, kids. Mission accomplished. Another run well done. And with it, the season comes to a close. I humbly thank you all for your kind support over the past 2.5 years. I have no intention of stopping, so you better watch out. 'Cause the Fandom Arson Action Team will always be there for you, the consumer. Thanks for riding loose, and until next time, good fight, good night, and stay frosty, my friends. Here's to a cushy run on the Nintendo Switch.
I'm at Comic-Con! Flash!